Power outages can happen at any time, without warning, and can leave your home powerless for days. Hilscher-Clark has partnered with Generac to bring you the #1 selling home standby generator brand, engineered and built in the USA since 1959. With a home standby generator, your home will never lose power again. Generac generators activate automatically in the event of any power loss and restore power to your home within seconds. Don't leave your home unprotected. Trust only the best. Hilscher-Clark's residential division are experts in their profession and go above and beyond to provide you with quality, efficient service at a fair price. Starting with the estimate, they keep you informed regarding status and completion of your projects. They also give you shorter arrival windows and send you email and text confirmations of your scheduled service appointment, as well as notifications when their electricians are on their way to your home. Hilscher-Clark's Google reviews speak for themselves, with more than 270 reviews and 4.9 stars. And if you've just recently purchased an electric vehicle but don't want to rely on public chargers to keep your battery full, Hilscher-Clark has all the juice you can handle for your home vehicle charging needs. Hilscher-Clark is a certified Q-Merit Solutions partner, making them market leaders in electrification and recommended by local dealerships. Visit them online at www.hilscher-clark.com. That's HILSCHER-CLARKE.com. Or stop down and see them at 519 4th Street Northwest in downtown Canton. Or contact Hilscher-Clark today at 330-452-9806. That's 330-452-9806. Remember, it's your home, it's our family. Trust only the best. Hilscher-Clark Electric Company. Welcome in, everybody, to Wednesdays at the Wink. I'm TJ Downing, joined by some very special guests of mine here as we start to highlight fall sports here at Walsh University. John Fankhauser, head coach of the Walsh Cavaliers, joined by Cam Hollobaugh as well. Stud baseball player and football player now, and as we just kind of talked about here, guys, I mean, this is kind of a special deal, right? GMAC player of the week in baseball, GMAC player of the week in football. This is something that, you know, we were talking, Fank, I don't know if this has ever been done before.
Yeah, as far as I know, and I'm not a big statistician on the GMAC, but I would say that it's very unlikely that they've had two multi-sport athletes that have been GMAC player of the week in two different sports, and that's a tribute to Cam and all the work that he's put in.
So as we are here at the Winking Lizard inside of Washington Square, I want to give a special shout out to them, Denise, all of their people, their staff here. Shout out to not only Christina Payon, Greeny, our girl here leading us. A great time to be a part of Walsh University Athletics. As I was talking to Greeny, I believe there hasn't been a whole lot of losses here early. You know, you guys are 2-0. The rest of the teams are doing pretty well. Volleyball's out to an 8-0 start, and you know, as we kick it here with football, nothing better than going 2-0. Better would be 3-0 as you guys get ready to face Kentucky Wesleyan here coming up this weekend. But let's kind of start this thing. Let's rewind a little bit here. Week 1. Haven't had a chance to talk to you since then. Talk to you afterwards. The collective sigh of relief, you know. But how great was it? You and I have talked before, Frank. You know, the hardest deal was getting on a bus to go play a home game, to have that environment there. The stands were packed, great crowd on a Thursday night, opened things up on August 31st. You beat West Liberty. Just kind of recap that game for me, both of you guys here. It was a great victory. You guys came out fast, started really fast, and I mean, you were getting after that quarterback Garcia. You were chasing him all over the place. Defense played well. We talked about Nate Watkins at the end. As you know, he was getting after it. But as you've started out 1-0 after that game, kind of rewind West Liberty for us.
Well, you know, it started off being a Thursday night game, which was great for our campus. There's a lot of folks out. I don't know unofficially if that was the most people we've ever had at an on-campus game or not, but it was close. There were people on the hill. There were people on the bleachers. All the ramps were filled. It was an awesome atmosphere. It was great for our kids. It was great for our students on campus, and really the university and our game operations folks pulled it off exceptionally well.
Cam, two really good wide receivers for West Lib, and you were putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback. I think one time you were probably a yard away from getting maybe a safety as you guys were kind of putting them back to the goal line. Talk about that first opening victory, the energy in the locker room as you guys were coming out the tunnel. It's always a great thing, just the group, the team atmosphere, and then overall defensively, how you guys felt you played coming out week 1.
Yeah, it's always exciting to start a new year. Big things. You always expect to be great. You always expect to win games, and we had to kind of change the narrative a little bit Walsh. We kind of last year won one game. This year we've won two already, and I think the atmosphere is a lot different. I think you saw it from the opening kickoff when Garrett took it down to their 12-yard line and we get a touchdown to start the game. I mean, I think that kind of set the tone for the entire season and what was to come, and I think our defense just kind of did what our defense always does. And defensively, we're always stout, and I think we always play good defense no matter who we're going up against, no matter the year. I think the defense is always one of the stronger suits of the team, and I think we led by example and started it off right.
Cam Hollobaugh and John Fankhauser joining me here inside of the Winking Lizard. Cam, when you kind of look at other guys defensively alongside of you, when you're looking to kind of pick up the tempo, looking for somebody to make a play, I know inside of that game against West Lib, towards the end there, they were making some plays, they put some drives together, they were able to put some points on the board, and certain guys that you look to, being you are the leader of the defense, another guy alongside you, obviously Rock, he's there for you, but some other guys that have really stepped up that you can lean on and rely on and know that they are leaders out there for you.
Yeah, I'm just to start with Nate. You mentioned him, and he filled in a big position. We didn't have a bandit to start the year, and he's been nothing but special to our defense so far. And some of our guys up front, Cody and Jesse, they continue to do their jobs and change the front. Gordo, our DBs, I think we have a really good defensive back group. I think Robbie Page leads those guys, and then Marvin and Bobby Jackson, Terrell, Deli. Deli plays a big role. He plays
big pick six right there.
Yeah, he plays nickel, he plays corner, he does it all. He plays in the run, plays in the pass. I think Deli's a big key to our defense and the success of it too.
Fank, talk a little bit about your offense. You have a new offensive coordinator this year, Coach Patil. You guys came out the blocks. You had, as Cam mentioned, a great return by Garrett. Then you get Cam into the deal. Dom was running the ball hard. Big run by Dom. When you kind of think of some offensive philosophies and really as you guys set your tempo, and we got Birch in here now. We got the crowd, man. Now we're gonna get some real analytics going on in this deal here. For you guys offensively, when you're looking for somebody to make a play, and I know you've worked through a couple different quarterbacks, but the run game is obviously something. You and I have talked before. We come from that school of Tress, right? Pull guards, run between the tackles, physical, pound the rock. Cam and Dom have been able to do that, and they did that in week one.
Yeah, Cam and Dom have done a great job with our offensive running game. They're very disciplined, and like I know we've talked about, downhill runners. They're not guys that are going to stretch it to the sideline and really make it go, but they can hit the hole fast and they can make it go that way. And those two have done a great job in finding the holes that are provided. And sometimes that's not easy, but other times it has been for those guys. I know Dom's 75-yard run, it was easy to get out and get in that hole. But I think I could have got through it. I wouldn't have got 76 yards or whatever it was. But I kidded with him because Dom's an older guy, so I kidded with him a little about old man. He had a little giddy-up hitch in his run. I said, I would have got caught on the 50. At least you made it down to the goal line. So, yeah, those guys have done a great job, but they're very appreciative of the offensive line up front and the holes that they're providing. That's something that we got to continue to grow with. We got a few new guys up there with Cole Krennick at center, Jake Schmitz at the left tackle, and Brandon Kennedy at the right tackle that have not had a lot of experience. So gaining that experience every week is huge for those guys up front.
I noticed that with Schmitz when he lost his pregame meal in the trash can on the sideline. You get a little nervous out there. Maybe a couple Tums, a little Mylanta after that. Settle him down a little bit. But offensively, the quarterback situation. When you start thinking about guys, you get guys that are banged up, and you're trying to figure things. Your quarterback is always kind of your leader out there. How have you felt thus far the quarterback play has gone?
Well, I'll say this. The thing that they've done the best is manage the game and not turn the ball over. And that's been huge for us. Yeah. That's given us a chance to win in the fourth quarter because we haven't given those easy breaks to the other team like we got last week with Johnson C. Smith. They gave us the ball way too much for their liking, I'm sure, but not enough for us. We'll take it a few more times.
I believe to the tune of seven times?
Seven times, yep. And Cam started off with that big interception return for a touchdown. But our offensive guys haven't turned the ball over, and again, it gives us a chance. And in another Tressalism is punt's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
And we're
it's the most important play in the game.
Yep,
he used to say,
yep.
Man, wow.
And we punted 9 times, and Garrett Kashner did a great job of pinning them down and giving our defense great field position to start and really hold them back. as they started gaining a little bit momentum in the second half. I'll say this, it's really tough to keep these offenses down. And the longer they're on the field, the more opportunities they're going to have to score. And our defense has done a great job at that, and our special teams have done a great job making long fields for them.
Garrett had a lot of time to think about that as he's riding around out there on the tractor, taking care of the grounds. Great time here at the Winking Lizard. Wednesday at the Wink with our guys here, John Fankhauser and Cam Hollobaugh. Cam, as we start to look here at week 2, a long road trip. How do you guys kind of deal with that? You know, you're talking 8+ hours. Everybody always says bus legs and all that. So, you know, you just you have a lot of time to think, you know, going through the playbook, thinking about what you're going to see out there on the field. What was kind of the vibe on the bus as you guys were rolling down the road?
Honestly, it was just kind of everybody was asleep, chilling, just watching film, doing some homework, doing some things, try not to be too pressed about the game, just kind of relax until we're on the bus going to the game the next morning. But I'd say just maturity sets in, you know, just acting your age and just handling the bus trips the right way, being professional about it, I think, is the most important thing, and I think we handled it pretty well.
It's business as usual, man. It's always a business trip, and it's business here at the Winking Lizard here in Washington Square. I want to give a special shout-out to some other partners, Huntington Bank, Bell Stores. If you haven't been over to the new Bell Stores here on the corner of Market and Easton, great spot. Altman Hospital, Kempthorne Motors. Also, special shout-out to the Sam Center, serving area military over there in downtown Massillon. If you haven't had a chance to check out what they do, every first and third Friday of the month, over 6,000 pounds of food donated to veteran families in need. So if you have the opportunity, get behind our friends over at the Sam Center. Johnson C. Smith University down there in North Carolina, Charlotte. We kind of talked about after the West Liberty game, you know, hadn't really had a whole lot of time to study them, understand them, because you're just worried about week 1. When you started to break that team down before you got onto the field and got blessed with 7 turnovers, what kind of stuck out to you about them before you guys were able to handle your business on the field and get the victory?
Well, I thought they were very athletic. I talked to our team a lot about their athletes, the things that they have the ability to make plays. I felt like their receivers and skill group was really good, and I thought their defensive backs were really good. I'll say this. Coming out of the game, I thought their linebackers were pretty good. Coming out of the game, I thought their linebackers were really good.
Yeah.
Number 2, number 3 were 2 of the better linebackers that we've seen in the last couple of years for sure because of the way they moved and their physicality. So those are the things that really stuck out to me, and I felt like it was going to be a better challenge for us from West Liberty to Johnson C. Smith all around, but also in special teams. And if we could continue to win the special teams battle, we'll give ourselves a chance. Yeah,
I know we talked before we got on here at the Winking Lizard. Offensive line maybe didn't grade out the way you wanted them to. When you started to think about some of the moving parts, you talked about Cole, you talked about Krennic getting in there and putting him at center, and you put Rhodesy over there at guard. You're kind of moving some guys around, putting the best fit together, the best 5 out there on the field. And you and I both understand that's the biggest position group on the field. Trying to get from left tackle to right tackle, everybody on the same page. Also working your tight ends into the fold. Some guys that obviously Rhodesy has really kind of stepped up as the leader, but when you think about the exchanges, quarterback center exchange, what has been your thoughts thus far about the new center in the ballgame for you?
Well, I think Cole's done a really good job at handling, the checks. He's making the calls and giving our offensive line the blocking scheme and what they're doing up front and calling out the mic and all those things. He's done a really good job with that. We haven't had any real exchange problems, which we were working on that a lot in preseason. So that was a big thing. But I think Cole's done a good job at battling. He's getting off the line and getting to the blocks that he needs to get. We just, as a total offensive line, need to get lowered.
Yeah.
Control pad level and things like that up front. But David really got banged up in the 3rd or 4th play of the game, got a leg whip and rolled his ankle over, so he was kind of taped up and moving on a leg and a half basically the whole game, so it kind of limited him, which limited our offense a little bit, I think. But those guys up front do a good job, and they got to continue to, again, keep that pad level low and block for 3 seconds, and they can do that. We're going to run through a lot of open holes.
Head coach John Fankhauser starting to remind me of the old days lining up, man, hearing got to get low, got to play with low pad, bend at the hips, all that stuff. It's got a part of the deal. Cam, when you guys were out there against Johnson C. Smith University, obviously huge game for you, GMAC Player of the Week. What was really, as the game started to progress, what were some reads and things you're picking up on? Obviously, the numbers stick out for themselves, but to have 2 interceptions, take one back to the house, kind of set the tone for the entire team. What were some things that you were picking up on out there on the field that maybe from your film study, as you talked about the bus trip down, some things that you keyed in on that really allowed you to have that great of a game?
Honestly, I would say I just read my keys, guards pulling, open windows, closed windows. You just kind of get a feel for what they're running, what they're trying to run at you. And I think we do a good job in film and with our scouting report of what we're going to see, how it's going to affect our defense and the front we run and where I'm going to fit and all that. So I think that does a lot. And I think, honestly, just
You're just a gamer, man.
Yeah,
you're a gamer.
I'll say this. Cam does a great job. This is something I really noticed in camp because I hadn't seen it a lot from him as a freshman, totally. He does a great job fitting open windows and giving himself a great opportunity to get in that window and have some power behind it.
Yeah.
We struggle blocking him in camp a lot, him and Rocco. And they do such a good job of fitting off those front 3 guys or front 4 guys and giving ourselves chances to hit people clean and not be caught on blocks, and those guys do a great job at that.
It always goes back to the offensive guards, right? You see them pull, you know where the ball's going. It's it's just part of the game. So part of the game here at Wednesdays at the Wink. TJ Downing joined by Cam Hollobaugh and John Fankhauser. We're going to take a little quick break here. When we come back, we're going to talk about Kentucky Wesleyan coming up, the opportunity to go 3-0 and catch up a little bit more, talk about some younger guys that have kind of stepped up that you guys have seen, and we'll have more here at the Winking Lizard in Washington Square. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
You came to Stark Media for the best? Well, now you got it. Check out Lindsay's Pizza on 2827 Whipple Avenue Northwest inside of the Hillsdale Shopping Center. The preferred post-game pizza of the Stark Media team is open until 11 p.m., and it has all the essentials for game day. Pizza, chicken, salads, and sandwiches are just a click away at lindsayspizza.com. But you should trust the former Ohio State All-American and just call them right now at 330-477-3800. 477-3800. This is TJ Downing for Lindsay's Pizza, and I approve this message.
McNeil & Sons Tree Service serves the greater Northeast Ohio area by keeping your property clear all year round. Do you have trees that have stretched too close to your home? A rotted tree that has to go? Or perhaps even storm damage? No job is too big or small for McNeil & Sons. We specialize in large tree removal, storm damage, stump grinding, land clearing, and more. McNeil & Sons Tree Service is fully licensed and insured, so contact us today at 330-606-1126 for all your tree care needs, or visit us online at mcneiltree.com to schedule your free quote. The professionals at McNeil & Sons can inform you of your tree health and give you a risk assessment to keep your family protected. So call today, 330-606-1126. McNeil & Sons Tree Service, a company you can depend on with family you can trust.
At C.H. Vallis & Associates, we've been proudly serving the greater Stark County community for over 78 years. Locally owned, we cover your home, auto, business, and life insurance along with your group benefits. Our partnership with auto owners has allowed us to span not only Ohio, but throughout the entire country. Did you know that Auto Owners, an A++ rated company by AM Best and a Fortune 500 company, has ranked C.H. Vallis & Associates a top 10 insurance agency in the state of Ohio? From your basic home and auto needs to insuring some of the largest companies in America, there's a reason people choose C.H. Vallis & Associates and Auto Owners. Our dedication and passion for our clients and their coverage is part of our commitment to excellence. For all your insurance coverage needs, there's only one call to make, and that's C.H. Vallis & Associates, located at 1302 South Main Street in North Canton. Contact us at 330-494-2776 today and see the difference in customer satisfaction.
Welcome back into the Winking Lizard at Washington Square. TJ Downing joined by Cam Hollobaugh and John Fankhauser, head coach of the Walsh Cavaliers, and it's Wednesdays at the Wink. Great little deal we got going on here. We're going to be able to highlight all of the fall sports, fall teams here at Walsh University, right across the street from us here. Special shout out to our friends here at the Winking Lizard. We'll get a chance to talk to them here shortly, talk about some specials, talk about some great things that they have going on here. So make sure when you're out here in North Canton, when you're coming down the road, stop by Winking Lizard, come in here, enjoy some some great food, beverages, great atmosphere. Wednesdays at the Wink, we will be here. When we start to talk about some young guys that step up, Nate Watkins was a guy that really wasn't on the radar last year, and we know some guys on the defensive line have had to step up. Some young guys have got to play and get into the rotation. Who are the guys collectively, Fank, that have stepped up to you and said, okay, this guy's kind of ready. I don't have to worry about him as much. And again, go back to my old ball coach, Tressel. The head coach, you got to trust those guys that put them out there on the field. And some guys that have kind of grown up quickly for you coming out of training camp.
One thing I try to stress with my running backs on offense, but really the whole offense, is I know you all can carry the ball. I know you all can run. You don't play until we trust you.
Yep.
And when we trust you enough to let you play, and then your play gains more trust, that's a huge thing. We're really young at receiver, but I feel like A.J. Harris, Tavion Jackson, some of those guys that have been at receiver have really done a good job for us in providing some blocking as well as catches. When they've had some catches, those guys have been really young up front, or up on our offensive side. Cam Macon is a freshman as well. He's a redshirt freshman that has come in and done a really good job for us.
Brought a little magic from Barberton, didn't he?
A lot of magic. Speaking of another Barberton guy, Trent Dorfler is our freshman kicker that has just kind of come on and just kept kicking the ball and kind of earned a spot. Jared Karakas will be our kickoff guy as we go, and we're not real old in any spot.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that's exciting about where we're at, is we've had a good start, but we're not really young. I mean, on defense, there's been a lot of guys that have played on defense as well. And, Cam Gill, Warren Bloodworth, Terrell Greer, some of those guys on the defensive side that are really young kids, a redshirt freshman or true freshmen, that are playing for us and playing significant roles. And then if I got into special teams, I would waste the rest of the time talking about the rest of those guys on special teams, because we got a bunch of young guys there.
Great stuff coming from the Walsh Cavalier football team here. Want to give a special shout out to Huntington Bank, Altman Hospital, Bell Stores, and Kempthorne Motors, also our friends at the Sam Center. Cam, Coach just mentioned guys like Cam Gill, a Perry Panther, another guy like Robbie Page, who played over there at Massillon. For me, when I start to look at how the defense is taking shape, and you see it from a firsthand standpoint when you guys, I'm guessing at the end of practice, you guys do a 1-0, 1D. For you. To see, as Coach talked about, receivers getting out there blocking. I noticed that AJ, he's out there against West Lib, and he's blocking out on the perimeter. And a lot of times wide receivers they don't always like blocking, but it gets me excited to see them doing a job that they're not typically used to doing, because there's only one football out there on the field, right? So you got to play unselfish football. You got to do your job, block for your guy next to you. Some guys that offensively, for you, when you see them in practice, you're just like, okay, I think this guy gets it, man. This is going to be a guy that's going to have a really good season for us.
Yeah, I think there's a couple like that. I'd say he said AJ, redshirt freshman. Yeah. You mentioned him as well. Freshman. Oh, quarterback Dallas Jett. He's one of our. He's very talented. He had a lot of, I believe, MAC offers to play corner, and he's a special kind of player. And hopefully, when he gets on the field, he can make an impact, because I think he can.
I think another guy that you mentioned, Fank, Bloodworth. You come from a program that you just won the first state championship in Cleveland public school history, getting it done up there for the Tar Blooders, and now it's like the recruiting class that you had. These are guys that they come from programs that, winning is expected, and the transition now onto the field in college football becomes a little bit easier, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure does. As a recruiting staff, when we go out, we're looking for guys that come from programs of success.
Yeah.
Cam Hollobaugh is a prime example of that. He's a guy that was probably under-recruited. He went to the state championship in football, went to the state finals in basketball, I believe. Semifinals,
yeah.
And then back to the state championship in baseball.
Yep.
And talk about a guy that has come from a winning program at Warren JFK. He was everything and probably got under-recruited because he was doing everything.
Yeah.
And he didn't really focus on one thing. And that's one of the things he fell into our lap a little bit. And Frankie Tempesta helped me recruit him and get him down here. But he's been a great surprise in his winning tradition, his winning attitude that he has He has, but all those guys, Warren Bloodworth and all those guys, Robbie Page, who've played in those state championship games, that's huge for our kids.
Yeah, it's infectious, right? It gets into everybody else. It kind of spreads around, and when you start to think about the opportunity to get a third victory and go 3-0 on the season, Kentucky Wesleyan, another trip you guys are going to take on the road. I believe you said it's going to be roughly about 7 hours. What do we know about Kentucky Wesleyan? What do they bring back from last year? What are you guys kind of really prepping for, saying, okay, we got to focus on this to have success and walk away with the W?
Well, I'll start with them defensively. I'll let Cam talk about them offensively, see how well he remembers the scouting report. But defensively, they have two really good linebackers. Both those kids are back. Both those kids have got a lot of experience. Up front, they have two freshman defensive tackles that they kind of flip them between the 1 and the 3, but they're bigger kids than they've had in the past. Their defensive ends are seniors or upperclassmen that have played a lot, and there'll be tough guys for us to block. We got to be able to move those front 5 guys that I just talked about, or 6 guys that I just talked about, to be able to establish the run game. In the secondary, again, they have a mix of some young and a mix of some older guys in the secondary that they can do some things. Again, they're athletic. They're able to make some plays. They played a great West Florida team early in the year, and we're 14-3 at half. And then they played William Jewell last week and ended up beating them in the last 30 seconds of the game. So it was a game that was back and forth for them. But they're a team, I think, that's a lot like us, that's kind of rebuilding and trying to get back to that, get into that winning mantra. And I think they've done a good job with their staff. He's changed their staff around a little bit and all that. So go ahead and go offensively for them.
Yeah, so
break it down, man. Coach is taking notes, man. He wants to make sure you're studying that playbook.
I think I got it. So offensively, they actually run a whole different offense. They run the triple option.
Ooh.
So they like to get into that. They like to run the ball, and against West Florida, like he was saying, they tried to run the ball. They were in the triple option most of the game and weren't very successful. I think they threw the ball 10 times, and I mean, obviously they got beat 35-3, so they didn't win. But then they went against William and Jewell, and they aired it out a little bit more. I think he threw like 35 passes for little less than 500 yards. So they were throwing it, and I think that's more they were more shotgun zone, just spread offense, and I think that's more the offense we'll see, to be honest, because we do a good job stopping the run. So I think they're going to look to pass the ball against us, which hopefully we'll be ready for, and I think we will. So
what kind of pressure does that put on when we talk about the box, right? Your defensive line, you guys as linebackers, going against that triple option, it's not an easy thing, right?
No, it's a discipline thing. We stress doing your 1/11th, so in the box we'll probably be doing our 1/7, 1/8, however many are in there. But
I thought we weren't doing math today, man.
No,
Every time there's always math.
There should be no
math.
But yeah, we have to read our keys, and we have to be disciplined and do our jobs. If we're a quarterback player, play the quarterback, etc. So.
All right, TJ Downing joined by John Fankhauser, head coach of the Walsh Cavaliers, and Cam Hollobaugh, reigning GMAC Defensive Player of the Week. Guys, I'm looking forward to it, man. I know you are as well. 2 back-to-back road trips, and then we're going to get you back here on campus. We'll have a chance to see you guys in action right here on Larry Stout Field. Fank, what's the tempo and what's the energy been like in practice this week? I know when we talked about the offensive line maybe not grading out like you would have wanted them to this past week, and I know it was news to me. I was talking with somebody or talking with you, texting the other day, that you guys go and you practice 7:30 in the morning. Mm-hmm. You guys get after it, and then class starts at 10:30. So, getting those guys out there early in the morning, had the fog out here today. Have you gotten after the guys a little bit?
I'll be honest, I haven't had to get on them too much.
Good.
There's days that you got to crank them up, but I'll say this. When they go through a lift in the morning, class all day, and practice in the afternoon, their energy is drained a little bit.
Yeah.
The nice part of this is we've gotten them right in the morning for practice, and their energy's better. They're up. They're ready to go. We have a few meetings before certain days of practice, so we're not trying to get them up really, really early. But they've come with really good energy. Now we always have to stir it up a little bit. Today we did a pride and passion drill to kind of kick off the energy a little bit and get going.
Get after it.
But yeah, it's been really good. I'll say this. For a guy that's done afternoon practices for 25 years, it's harder on us probably than it is them. Just making sure we're prepared, because you're a day ahead of where you need to be. I told guys walking off the field today, I said, well, it's Thursday. we're working on Thursday. Here we go. So So it's been a little harder for us coaches, but I think the kids like it. He could probably speak for that more than I can, but I think it's been good for us.
Well, I know as a former player, and you as a coach, you probably want to rewind a couple of those periods that you do, but since you got to be at class by 10:30, we're sticking to it. We can't add any extra time on. It's nice. We're getting out at the perfect time. Give me the definition of pride and passion drill.
All right. Well, so the pride and passion drill, it's just like a 1v1 kind of, but it's like a board drill basically. So there's a circle, and then whoever drives the other. It's like offense versus defense, position based. So like running backs, linebackers. Today we had a quarterback and specialist. We had a long snapper and quarterback. They went at it today. So that was they ended it, and they gave us a little bit of energy to start the day. So it's just whoever drives whoever out of the circle first wins, and then.
Gotta love it, man.
Yeah.
Just like the hoot and holler drill.
Oh, yeah. All that stuff that's sort of frowned upon now in the college football. Those old days when we just hit anybody that showed up, it's different. But the pride and passion drill is one way that we bring our guys in the morning or into a practice at the beginning of practice. They're all fit up, so there's not a lot of contact. It is just a physical who can strike and who can drive their feet. And that guy wins.
Taking it back to the basics, man, the fundamentals. That's what you need. And when you get out there on Saturday against Kentucky Wesleyan, you line up, do the fundamentals. Don't turn the ball over. That's a good thing. You said you've been happy about that. In defense, you get after them, triple option. Do your fractions, your 1/11th, your 1/7th, your 1/8th, whatever it is. Light them up and get after it. So great time here at Wednesdays at the Wink. TJ Downing joined by Cam Hollobaugh and Coach John Fankhauser. We're going to take a little break. When we come back, we're going to talk to our girl Chelsea inside of here, talk about some specials they have going on, and make sure that you stop out here to the Winking Lizard. Make sure that you get behind the Walsh Cavaliers, everything that they're doing, Walsh Athletics here, fall sports. We're going to be out here every Wednesday kind of highlighting everything that's going on campus right across the street. So stay with us. Again, shout out to our special partners, Huntington Bank, Altman Hospital, Kempthorne Motors, Serving Area Military, the Sam Center in downtown Massillon, and over here at Bell Stores right on the corner of Market and Easton. We'll be back with more after this.
The Fraternal Order of Eagles number 190 in Massillon wants you. Stop down to the Massillon ARE at 303 Wyrick Boulevard Northwest. And like our over 1,800 members experience daily, your Eagles membership will give you access to great food and drink specials. Having a party, host it in our banquet facility and seat up to 400 people. When you're coming through downtown Massillon, stop by the Eagles and sign up. And for a small fee, you'll have access and be a part of a fraternity that donates over $100,000 a year to local charities. The Fraternal Order of Eagles ARE number 190 in downtown Massillon. Stop by or call us today at 330-832-7385. Cackley Insurance is a locally owned home, auto, and life insurance specialist. Located in Cuyahoga Falls at 619 Portage Trail, Cackley Insurance puts their clients first, and as an independent agent, they are proud to serve their community. As a proud supporter of high school athletics in the community, give Cackley Insurance a call today at 330-929-6006 or visit them online at cackleyinsurance.com. That's KACKLEY insurance.com. And thank you for your support of Stark Media and high school athletics around the area. The leader in quality drivetrain components, H&H Truck Parts, is a name you can trust. Located in Valley View, Ohio at 5500 South Cloverleaf Parkway, H&H can handle all your heavy-duty truck needs. Come in and exchange your transmission, differential, or power steering gearbox. But that's not all. H&H is equipped to handle all your parts needs. Permco pumps, Muncie PTOs, Neapco U-joints, Spicer yokes, new Eaton clutches, and more. Let the professionals at H&H Truck Parts handle your transmission or differential installation in one of their 6 service bays. Specializing in drivetrain repairs, stop by and have your drive shaft balanced, flywheel resurfaced, or your clutch installed alongside the best transmissions and differentials on the road. You know why they're the best? Because H&H is Ohio's largest purchaser of Eaton Fuller parts. Need a blower or a pump? H&H distributes Paragon and Permco brands. Names you can trust with your livelihood on the road. Call H&H Truck Parts today for the leader in heavy-duty truck parts and service. Call locally at 216-642-4540. Toll free at 800-601-4540 or check them out online at hhtruckparts.com.
Welcome back into the Winking Lizard. Wednesdays at the Wink with our friends at the Walsh Cavaliers, Walsh University right across the street from us here, and we're here now with Chelsea. Great that you guys have gotten behind what we're doing, getting behind Walsh University Athletics, everything that's going on here, fall sports, we're highlighting it. We'll be here every Wednesday. Kind of tell everybody that's out and about, coming through Washington Square, what they can expect and what they need to know to be able to stop into the Winking Lizard and some specials you guys got.
Yeah, absolutely. So right now we are currently celebrating our 40th anniversary here as the Winking Lizard. We started back in 1983 up in Bedford Heights, so we're doing our whole celebration this week. And then if you ever stop in for lunch on a Monday or a Tuesday, you can come in and get a $9 chicken sandwich or a burger. Wing night immediately starts Monday night at 3 p.m. with traditional and boneless wings on special. Tuesday is the same for lunch with the burgers and chicken sandwiches, and then Tuesday night we start at 3 p.m. We do our boneless wings and pizza. We do our seasonals all through the week. We're starting a brand new seasonal starting on the 18th, which is really exciting. And then we also are going to kick off our clam bake here coming up September 29th through October 1st. Clam bake, you can get a dozen clams, you can get a chicken bake, you can get a twin lobster tail dinner, you can get a steak. It's really phenomenal. So we have a really great amount of lunch specials and deals all week long. And then we also do a happy hour Monday through Friday, 3 to 7.
Best part of the day.
Oh, absolutely. $1 off domestic beers and $1 off house margaritas and ounce wines. So we have specials. You can see them all on Winking Lizard's website. And we are always doing something fun here.
Awesome. Celebrating 40 years.
Yeah.
That's great stuff.
It is great.
So how long have you been here at Winking Lizard for now?
So I used to work at the Canton location, and I've been here at this location for a year, but I've worked for the company for 4 years.
So with everything that's kind of developed around this area, and obviously with Walsh University being right here, right across the street, now that you've got home games over there with the stadium, can you kind of feel a vibe and an energy as the game closed out, the opener on Thursday night? I'm sure people were kind of trickling in here after that.
Absolutely.
It's exciting, right?
It is. It's so exciting, and it's nice for people to have a place to go afterwards for a sporting event, because we are a great sports bar.
Yep.
I think we were rated in Cleveland, one of the best sports bar. So it's really fun, and you can definitely feel that energy. It's nice to come to work and see a game going on like on a Saturday morning, and I know they're going to come see us. And same with high school football. Like we get a lot of Lake and Glen Oak. They come over here too, and it is really nice. It's a good little spot for where we are, and our patrons, really show us that they care. So
yeah, this area has, back when I was at Glen Oak, it wasn't even over here. It was over on 44th Street, and this whole Washington Square area has developed so much, and the university across the street, how they've developed and built up the campus. It's a great time to be a part of Walsh Athletics. It's a great time in the North Canton area. It's thriving. For you as a Stark County resident, football is kind of it's
big thing.
Trump, right? It's a big deal. Tell us a little bit about any history that you may have had where you went to school at, maybe some of your favorite professional teams, local teams. Who do you get behind?
So I went to Perry. I'm a Perry graduate, 2013, proud Perry Panther. And my favorite team is the Cleveland Browns, obviously. Just watched them at the home opener. Phenomenal game. I really get excited for local football. My favorite rivalry in town is Massillon versus McKinley, of course, because I live so close. So it's real fun to get into that.
Well, you're closer to Canton from here, so you got to say McKinley Massillon, or they might get after you.
I'm so sorry. McKinley Massillon. Forgive me. But when I was in high school, I did marching band. I did flag line, and the energy there was incredible.
Yeah.
And I know that these kids, 10 years later, are having a great time doing it too. So
yeah, Chelsea, I really appreciate you joining us here as we're celebrating Wednesdays at the Wink. We're going to be out here. I know you'll be able to join us more as we kind of roll through fall sports. We're going to have not only as we highlight the football team, Coach John Fankhauser and Cam Hollobaugh just joining us, but volleyball, soccer, everything that's wrapped around that, sprint football, just a lot of great things going on. 20 sports inside of Walsh University for their athletics department. I want to give a special shout out to a couple people over there. Christina Payon, our girl Greeny over here, a newly appointed athletic director, Nate Cochran, just great people that have gotten behind us, what we're doing at Stark Media here, allowing us to shine a spotlight on everything that they do, and being able to come over here to the Winking Lizard. No better place to come. I know for myself, this is my new spot. I used to go to the one over in Jackson, but since I live a bit closer to here, it's easier for me to get here. And now I know the specials that you mentioned to us. So we'll be stopping out here. We want to tell everybody, make sure to patronize the Winking Lizard here at Washington Square. Great people, great food, great beverages, a lot of different things going on, as Chelsea just mentioned. So stop out here when you're near Washington Square, when you're coming off of campus at Walsh University. Stop by the Winking Lizard, patronize them, stop in, have a great meal, and really just enjoy the entire atmosphere of everything this entire area has to offer. Again, patronize our other great sponsors, Huntington Bank, Altman, Bell Stores, beautiful new Bell Stores right over here on the corner of Market and Easton, Kempthor Motors, and also serving area military. If you haven't had a chance, stop down and see the Sam Center. They do a ton giving back to our veterans and veterans' families in need. So great job for them. Great job to Walsh University, the athletics department, and the Winking Lizard. Chelsea, appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you come eat, relax, and enjoy.
All right, we'll be back with more after this. We're going to be back next Wednesday, and I believe we're going to be able to highlight the volleyball team. So a lot of great things going on there. Undefeated right now, out to an 8-0 start. We had a chance to talk to Coach recently when we kind of highlighted the kickoff to the fall season and the school year. So we're going to be able to talk to Coach Brett, and it'll be some great things going on here inside of the Winking Lizard. So appreciate everybody joining us. Appreciate you, Chelsea, Coach John Fankhauser, and Cam Hollobaugh. For myself, TJ Downing, we appreciate you joining us. We'll be back with more next week. So long, everyone.